Happy Easter, boys and girls. Today's the day, Easter Sunday. We've been talking about this for weeks now, and it is finally here. I hope you're in a good place where you can celebrate everything Jesus has done for you. Because of what he did on the cross, I and you are now able to live with him in heaven for eternity. Oh my goodness. Such a special gift Jesus gave to us. Well, I know Bruno has been excited too. Let's take him out and see how he is today. He's been decorating his whole room for weeks, remember? He made a spring Easter decoration, and then last week he made a Jesus Easter decoration. Let's see what he has done today. Hey, Bruno, come out. Bruno, come out. Bruno, oh dear. Bruno, what's going on? Bruno? Are you sad? Oh, but Bruno, it's Easter. Why are you so sad? You can't tell me? You're not going to tell me? Oh, well, Bruno, have you been making any more Easter decorations to make your house so pretty? No. Oh, Bruno, this looks really serious. Oh, you need some extra cuddles? Oh, it's okay, puppy. Can you just tell me what's wrong? No. Well, you're not giving me a lot to go off of here, Bruno. Let's see. Can I check your heart? Will that give me some clues of what's going on? Okay. Put up your chin and let's check what is going on with Bruno's heart, because he does seem very sad. Oh, I'm so sorry, puppy. You need some extra snuggles. Okay, you gonna help me take your heart out today? Oh, you're not even gonna help me take your heart out? Oh dear. Okay, well, let's see. Maybe this will give us a clue to why Bruno is feeling so sad and why he's being so quiet. Normally, he has a lot to tell me. All right, what's in your heart today, Bruno? A glue stick? Bruno, why do you have a glue stick in your heart? Oh, that's right. You're not talking. Wait a minute. Bruno, does this glue stick have to do with why you're not talking? Bruno, open your mouth. No. Bruno, can you open your mouth? Bruno, did you glue your mouth shut? Oh, Bruno, why would you do such a thing? Oh, well, yeah, you are sad, but why did that make you glue your mouth shut? Bruno, can I help you? Yeah, I got some wipes over here. I just don't think that was a very good decision. Let's see if we can get your mouth unstuck. Let's see, open. Oh, there we go. Let's get all that glue out of there. Does that feel better, Bruno? Oh, but you're still so sad. I thought that would make you happy. Why did you glue your mouth shut, Bruno? Because Jesus died? Okay. Oh, it didn't make you want to sing or talk anymore. Oh, Bruno, you've just been too sad. Bruno, guess what? We are going to learn the rest of the story. And I know last week we learned that Jesus died, and it was really so sad. But Bruno, you know, there's more to the Bible than just Jesus dying. In fact, Easter is about him coming back to life again. Yeah. No, he doesn't stay dead, Bruno. No, you can laugh and sing again. You have lots of songs you want to sing to Jesus? You just thought he was dead. Oh, and that made you so sad. Bruno, I'm here to tell you that Easter is actually celebrating the exact opposite of that. Jesus isn't dead at all. In fact, even right now today, he is very much alive. Oh, Bruno, does that make you happy? Oh, there's my happy Bruno. Now I'm getting cuddles, but it's because you're so happy. You're so happy to hear Jesus is alive? I know it made you so sad when you learned he died. I'm so sorry with that, Bruno. But you know what? There's more to the story, boys and girls. And Bruno, let's go see and open that last happy egg. So, we are going to open our last 3 eggs of our story eggs for our learning about Easter. And we're gonna go over them all again, just in case this is the first time you're listening to this. We'll go kind of fast though, so if you want more details, check out the other videos. But I told you, remember, the first egg is really happy and the last egg is really, really happy, and we're gonna get to open them today. So let's see how much you remember. The first egg is the donkey that Jesus rode into what city? Jerusalem. Good. And all the people were saying what? Yeah, Hosanna, Hosanna. They were so happy to see him. But there was a person in Jesus's group named Judas. And what did he love more than Jesus? Money. So the Jewish leaders did not like Jesus at all. They didn't like that people were calling him a new leader. They didn't like that he was going to be a new king, and they wanted him gone. So Judas said that he would tell them, the Jewish leaders, where Jesus was in exchange for 30 pieces of silver, because Jesus was in Jerusalem to celebrate the great meal of Passover. It was a very crowded place at that time. At Passover, this house that Jesus was at, he was drinking and eating with his friends, and he stopped. And he took a glass of wine and he drank from it. And he said, whenever you drink, remember my blood that was spilled for you. And then he broke the bread. And he said, when you break this bread, remember my body that was broken for you. The disciples didn't like what he was saying. But Jesus knew it had to happen. So he took his friends to the Garden of Gethsemane. And there he prayed. He knew what was about to happen was going to be really, really hard, and he needed his Father's help. So he prayed and he prayed until finally the soldiers did come and they arrested Jesus. Now, what did Jesus do wrong? Yeah, nothing. He wasn't a criminal. He didn't commit any crimes. They just didn't like him. So that night, while he was praying in the garden, the soldiers came and arrested him, and they took him back. And they said to Jesus, we'll let you go as long as you just say you're not the king. But Jesus can't lie, and he really is the king. That made them mad. And so they whipped Jesus. And they whipped him to try and make him say that he's not the king. But Jesus can't lie, and he is the king. So as they were whipping him, his blood spilled and his body broke, just like he said it would. Well, Jesus was not going to say that he was not the king, so they started making fun of him. They put a crown on his head. They said, fine, if you're going to be the king, well, you need to wear a crown. But this crown was not a nice crown. It had spikes on it, and when he put it on his head, it really, really hurt. And then that same crowd that was so excited to see Jesus had now turned against him. And they wanted him dead. So Jesus took his cross and they mounted it into the ground, and they put a nail in his wrist and a nail on his feet, and they nailed him to the cross. While Jesus hung up there dying, the soldiers below him played a game called lots. And you would roll the dice, and whoever got the highest number got to keep one of Jesus's things. Well, after a while, the whole sky turned black, and there was a great earthquake. And the soldiers looked up at Jesus, and they could tell he wasn't moving anymore. So they took their spears, and they poked Jesus, and they pierced his side, and his body didn't move. So they knew he was dead. Jesus' friends thought it was all over. They took Jesus' body down from the cross and they cleaned it up and they wrapped it in a cloth. And they took his body and they laid it in a tomb. Now, a tomb is kind of like a cave. It's on the inside of a mountain or a hill, and it's carved out, and there's no door. So sometimes they would bury people in those things. They took his body and they laid it in the tomb. And then, just to make sure Jesus' body was extra special safe, they rolled a giant rock in front of it. Now, this is a little teeny tiny rock. The rock they had was bigger than your daddy's and had to have 3 or 4 soldiers push and roll it in front of the tomb because it was so giant. And that's it. Wait a minute, there's one more egg left. Jesus died on Friday, then there was Saturday, and then there was Sunday, and Sunday is Easter. Well, let me tell you what happened on Sunday. 2 of Jesus's friends, Mary and Mary, came to the tomb. They were gonna put new spices on him and make sure his body was staying well and just take care of his body. They walked up to the tomb, and when they got there, they were actually very afraid because the stone, that giant, huge stone, had been pushed and rolled away. They ran inside the tomb, and when they got there, this is what they saw. Nothing. Jesus' body wasn't there. Actually, this kind of scared them. They thought maybe somebody had taken him and done something with him. But as they were looking around, trying to see what had happened to Jesus' body, they saw an angel instead. This angel said, "Why are you here looking for Jesus among the dead? Don't you know he has risen and he is alive today?" The tomb was empty because Jesus was alive and he walked out. Well, Mary and Mary ran back to their friends. They were in a room. They opened the door, they closed the door. They were so excited and they said, you guys, we were at the tomb and we had these spices and there was a big roll and we couldn't believe it. We didn't know what was going on. And then we saw an angel and he said that Jesus was alive. Well, Mary and Mary's friends said, oh, you guys, we saw Jesus die. We know he's no longer here. And they said, oh no, he really is. Well, while the disciples were in a room together, they heard a voice. They said, hi. And it was Jesus. He was in the room with them. They couldn't believe their eyes. Even though Jesus had already told them that he has to die, but he'll come back to life, they didn't think it was going to happen. They didn't fully understand Jesus' power. But Jesus can't stay dead. He can conquer anything, even death. In fact, he is alive today. His address changed a little bit. If you've ever moved, you know that you have numbers on your house, and whenever you move, you have to change those numbers. Well, Jesus used to live on earth, but he doesn't anymore. He moved to heaven. And in heaven, he's doing something very special for you. He's preparing the perfect room just for you. I am so grateful that we have a powerful God who not even death could slow him down. Boys and girls, today I want you to pray with me, and we're going to thank God for his amazing special gift. Jesus, you had to die because my sin, my mistakes, they separate me from you. But you didn't want me to die. You took my place. Jesus, thank you so much for that gift, and help me to understand why Easter is so special. Amen. Well, I have a couple of activities for you to do to also celebrate this Easter Sunday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Let's go take a look. Here is a fun food thing you can do for Easter. Now, I realize you're probably watching this video on Easter, so it might be hard to do this on the actual day of Easter, but don't get stuck thinking you can only celebrate Easter this Sunday, because just like Christmas, we can celebrate Jesus' death, life, birth, resurrection, everything that he's done for us. We can celebrate that all year round. It doesn't have to be on the exact date. So if you don't have access to these ingredients on actual Sunday morning, consider it doing it on any other morning, just to remind yourself of what Jesus did for us. So this is super fun. You're gonna need a roll of crescent rolls, some marshmallows, a small bowl of water, some cinnamon and sugar. I just mixed cinnamon and sugar together. I just eyeballed it. And some parchment paper. You're going to set your oven at whatever it says on your roll of crescent rolls. It might be different than mine. And here is how this snack goes. So the crescent roll dough represents the cloth that they wrapped Jesus in when they took his body off of the cross. So this part of the snack represents Jesus's death. The marshmallow represents his body. Now, after they took it down from the cross, they put oils on Jesus's body to keep it nice and fresh. We're gonna dip it into the water, and that's going to represent the oils. You're just gonna do a quick dip, nothing too big. And then I'm gonna place it in the cinnamon sugar. And the cinnamon sugar represents the spices that they put on Jesus's body. Now, the oils and spices were to help preserve the body so that it would last a long time. Okay, now here's the only part you really have to kind of pay attention to. This crescent roll represents the cloth that they wrapped his body in before they put him into the tomb. You want to put the marshmallow down at the wider part of the crescent roll because you want to fully wrap the marshmallow all the way. Now, if your crescent roll is a little bit too thin down here to wrap around the marshmallow, it's really easy. You can just stretch it out a little bit to make sure it fits. So we're gonna put the marshmallow down here at the bottom. Then we're gonna fold the sides up, and then we're just going to wrap it all the way down to the end. I've already made the rest of my crescent rolls over here. I'm gonna pop those in the oven, and then a very special thing is going to happen once they are done baking. Let's go make a craft, and then when we're done with that, we'll come back and we'll check out what has happened to our crescent rolls. It's something extra special. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the difference between Easter spring and Easter Jesus. Well, here's a fun little project that combines both of them because both are happening at the same time. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 paper plates, some markers, some scissors, a glue stick, and from our project a couple weeks ago, hopefully you still have your brads. These little things with the head on them that can spread apart and make things move. So again, you can get these at Staples. They're really cheap, like a box of 100 for like less than $2. So what you're gonna do is one of your paper plates, you're actually going to cut into half. Set that aside, we'll use that a little bit later. The other paper plate, now, if you have those white kind of flimsy paper plates, those are actually the best kind to use. I didn't have any, I think we used them all up at our last party or something. So I have these plates, they're heavier and they do have a print inside of them. So I wanna cover this print up with a beautiful design. If your paper plates are already white, you can just draw right in the middle of it. But for me, I had to take a piece of construction paper, measure the inside, and then I made my design. So however you're doing it, whether it be on construction paper or on the inside of your white plate, you're gonna wanna draw some sort of cross seam. So I did mine like this. I have a black cross with brown dirt with some grass sticking up and some yellow behind the cross, because Jesus is the light and he is glorious. So what I'm gonna do is I draw that. Now I'm going to just glue it to my plate inside. So if your plate is white inside, you actually don't need a glue stick at all. This is the only thing the glue stick was for. So I am going to just go ahead and put that in the middle. So however you want to do it, you can draw however you want inside. The inside part is going to be the Jesus Easter part. So whatever Jesus Easter means to you, that is what you can draw inside. Okay, now for the other part, you are going to measure your paper plate. So obviously you're going to want to do this before you cut it in half, or if you've already done that, you can just use this plate. You want to measure this inside space right here. What you're going to be doing next is drawing an Easter egg. Here's my Easter egg. So I want it to be able to fit top to bottom on the plate, on the inside part of the plate. I have decorated mine and you can decorate yours as well. And then I folded it in half because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually cut it in half. I'll show you how this works next. So go ahead and cut your Easter egg in half. And actually we are gonna use that glue stick again. So this is where our two halves of our paper plate come in. You're gonna glue one side of your Easter egg on the inside line of your plate and the other side on the other side of your plate. So let's do that really fast. So you're gonna decorate first cut out your Easter egg shape so you know it fits on your plate. Measure it from the sides, and then you are going to just cut it in half, glue one side, and then the other side. Okay. Just like that. So now I've got my two Easter egg halves on either side of the plate, like that. Now, at the bottom, you're gonna poke a little hole. I did one right there at the bottom and right there at the bottom. And you're gonna put your brad through both of those holes. I'm gonna put it through there. And then as if I'm almost like somehow attaching the plate back together again. Okay, so I've got my brad sticking through the end of both of those sides of the plate right there, and that's gonna give it some movement. I have also poked a hole at the bottom of my plate here, and I'm gonna attach all of those together. So here's my brad still sticking out, and I'm gonna put it down into this other hole that I made on the big plate. So now it's all held together by this brad. I'm gonna split this across. And now I have an Easter egg story. The story of Easter is that it is ushering in spring, and spring gives new life. And so does Jesus. Look, when you crack your egg open, you can see the design you made inside celebrating Jesus. So it's a really fun project to remind you that spring gives new life, and so does Jesus. Hope you have fun with that, boys and girls. Okay, so our rolls are out. Remember, we had Jesus's body represented by the marshmallow, rolled it in water for the oils, sugar and cinnamon for the spices, and then rolled him up into that nice sheet of dough that represented him being rolled into the tomb. Now, you've already heard the story, so you know what happens when they go and they check the tomb. When Mary go and check inside the tomb, they look inside and check out what happened to our marshmallow. They go inside and it's empty. The tomb is empty. Our rolls are empty. Do not look for Jesus among the dead. He has risen. He is alive. Go and enjoy your delicious rolls. And remember, Jesus today is alive. The tomb is still empty, and he has power over death. He has power, and he uses it to love you. Happy Easter. Well, just as you probably thought, we did have our butterflies hatch. I'll get you a little bit in there close. Some of these we've already let go because as soon as they hatch, they really need to be released into the wild so they can find their own food. We did put some oranges in there, but really they need to go and get their nectar, and they need to go and lay eggs so we can have even more butterflies. But there you go. There's actually one right here at the top. Do you see that? These are painted ladybird foot. I can't quite remember. I think they're ladybird butterflies, and they have bright orange wings. I was hoping one of them would open their wings for you, but they look like they're pretty calm. I was gonna stick my hand in there, but this one at the top, I'm just a little bit worried that if I open it, he'll fly into the classroom. Oh, there we go. There, now maybe you can see his wings opening, and you can see that beautiful orange color. Let's see if we can turn him around here a little bit. He's ready. He says, please let me go so I can find nectar and lay my eggs. Well, there you go. That's an update on our butterflies. And again, it just reminds me that we can turn into something beautiful when we let God into our lives. So I hope you're having a great Easter, and I hope you are remembering everything that Jesus has done for you. It sure makes my heart happy, and it just really encourages me when those times get tough that Jesus is always there for me. He even died for me, and he came back to life. And now, because he is in my life, I will get to be with him in heaven someday. Happy Easter, boys and girls.